fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Welcome to What the Fuck Are You Reading with Kali and Kaci,
A podcast and book club for all of the book lovers and shit talkers.
Part 2, The Mist. So Elspeth leaves Stone with the U's that evening. Her aunt and uncle gave permission, but her Aunt Opal was worried and probably suspicious of her motives, and her uncle was shocked that she had such a good prospect for marriage. So do you think he would be the type to be jealous of his niece and mad? Or do you think he's glad to be rid of her?
I don't like either of those scenarios.
I don't know. I don't like him. I don't
Yeah,
like
that
Uncle
is true.
Tyr.
I don't like anybody that gives their daughter up for some power.
Yeah, I agree. So she didn't say goodbye to Ione. She's still pretty pissed about her getting engaged to Prince Hoth. And poor Emery, he may be an ass, but he's actively spitting up blood and is distraught about not being able to leave with them.
Oh,
being able to leave with his family. When they arrive at Castle U, they're greeted by the U's steward. His name is John Thistle. Raven leads her to her new room. He tries to be friendly with her, but she just wants to hate his guts for some reason. And she's being such a little bitch to him. She's pissed that he said that he didn't want to court her. Like, her feelings are just hurt. So she seems like she wants him and he wants her, but they're both being like super stubborn, and she slams the door in his face.
Okay. Whatever. Go off, sis.
Mm-hmm. The next morning, Jesper brings Elspeth's trunk of clothes that she had brought to the equinox celebration. She also brought her a letter from her Aunt Opal. Her aunt wishes her well and tells her that Ione and her uncle are going to remain at court. She also tells her to be careful because there's old magic at Castle U.
Okay.
Interesting. Jesper and Elspeth chat and seem to be developing a friendship, and Jesper points out that the light must be playing tricks on her because for a second, Elspeth's eyes look yellow.
Okay.
So is Jesper magic too? Or is the nightmare
Showing out.
taken over some? Not sure. Then Jesper tells her that they're about to receive a visit from the Pine family, who they believe has an Iron Gate card, which is one of the ones that they're missing, and they plan to steal it if they can figure out where they keep it. So it's time to get to work, basically. So these Pine women, when they stop by, they're like painfully boring. They go on and on about how great Equinox was, and the nightmare is just like in absolute misery with all this girl talk.
This is Noah.
Yes, this is Noah. Like, let me out of here. Then they become even more unlikable, asking Elspeth how Ione got so pretty. So they're fishing for information, and they're guessing correctly that she got a maiden card. So Elspeth humors them and tells them about Ione's maiden card that was given to her as a gift from the king upon the engagement. And she's just trying to get them on the topic of Providence cards in general so that she can ask about their father's Iron Gate card. They ask if her father has done the same as her uncle, and like, did he offer Raven a Providence card to marry her? Fucking rude.
Yeah, that is rude.
Like, I'm not good enough, so there must be some kind of bribe involved. But she denies being engaged to Raven. So, like, we're still doing this. It's getting old. So anyway, it gets them on the topic of Providence cards as dowries. And one of the girls says that her father loves his cards too much to let them go. He has a prophet and an Iron Gate. So bingo. They let on that he carries them with him everywhere he goes. So he about he about to get got. Elspeth and the U's begin to develop a plan to steal this Iron Gate card from Mr. Pine. Raven is not there. He went back to Stone as the captain of the Destriers. Like, it's his duty to stay close to the castle. But Jesper, Fenrir, and Moret are there. They decide to try to ambush the man, Mr. Pine, whenever he leaves the equinox celebration the next day. With Elspeth being able to determine the exact location of the card on his person, they want to retrieve the card with minimal violence and bloodshed. So we'll see how that goes. We find out from Fenrir that King Rowan has searched extensively for the Twin Alders card. The only history of the card ever recorded is in the Old Book of Alders and a history of the first Rowan king, Brutus Rowan.
Okay.
And the nightmare is has a completely disgusted and angry reaction when Brutus Rowan is mentioned.
Okay.
He definitely does not think highly of that man. History says the Shepherd King took the Twin Alders card into the mist and returned without it. None of his children survived to claim the throne, so his captain of the guard, Brutus Rowan, became the next king of Blunder, which sounds super sketchy to me. Did he kill the Shepherd King's kids?
Yeah.
Or the Shepherd King himself?
Yeah. So, yeah.
So Elspeth wants to know who they plan on sacrificing to unite the deck. She's not letting us know. Who are we sacrificing? And is it going to be me?
Yes.
So we still have the black blood of magic. We have to have it. And I would also be very concerned that I would be the one on the chopping block. But they tell her that who they plan on sacrificing is the head of the king's physicians. Orith Willow.
Oh my God. Okay.
So literally, it seems like every other damn person on the street is infected.
Is the king infected? Damn.
So can we stop being surprised now when we find out that people are infected?
Yeah, no shit.
So according to Fenrir, Orith was infected as a child but allowed to live by the king because his magic allows him to spot the infection in others.
And that's how he became the head of the physicians.
His life work is to hunt and bleed anyone infected. So the king appointed him the head of physicians because of this unique gift. So the U's are missing 3 cards: the Well, the Iron Gate, the Twin Alders. We have a plan for the Iron Gate. We're going to try to get it off this Pine Man. We're not even sure where to start for the Twin Alders. And then Elspeth lets them know that she knows someone who has a Well card and he lives down the street. It's her dad.
Yep.
That was the card that he was carrying when she visited his house on her name day. The nightmare is becoming a stronger presence in Elspeth's mind. The more she asks for his help, the more he takes over. And sometimes she cannot distinguish between his emotions and hers, which is scary.
That is very scary.
Raven returns to Castle U the next morning, and Elspeth is just trying to avoid him. He finds her in the garden, and they have a little moment.
Okay.
He tucks a little rose into her hair and tells her that she need not worry her little magic. Oh, wait. Yeah. She does not need to worry with her magic charm because the mist can't cause any further damage. If you're infected,
then you're safe.
Yes.
The
mist
wow.
can't
So
hurt you.
when they're having this moment in the garden, were you kicking your feet?
I was like, oh, we're going to have a kiss. So he takes her deeper into the property to the ruins of the original Castle U, and Raven tells her that it's older than Castle Stone. No one knows how old, and at some point it was burned, and there's only one room remaining.
Okay.
The final remaining room stands tall under an ancient yew tree, and we get to the title of the book.
Yes!
This is my favorite. I love
when you've learned why it's called One Dark Window.
So the quote is, "How strange it looked, alone in the ruins, unmarked, but for one dark window situated on its southernmost wall."
So we know that this room is
going to be important.
Ultimately important.
It's going to be important. And the nightmare wants to go in. Bad. Elspeth is resisting him, arguing motherfucker, there's no door.
There's only one dark window.
There is only a window. And the nightmare says that's all you need. Get in
Go
there.
to step stool and get your ass up there.
So he says that's all the spirit of the wood ever required. So is this where the Twin Alders card is? Somebody fucking needs to check. Shit. Has nobody looked in the room yet? It seems like an obvious choice. So every fiber of her being is terrified of that place, though. But the nightmare is growing so strong that it's like physically difficult for her to resist doing what he says. And she only barely manages to turn away.
Mm-hmm.
Elspeth asks Raven about his consequences of using the nightmare card. And basically, when he uses it too long, he hears a voice in his head taunting his fears. And it's his own voice, which is so sad to me
Mm-hmm.
because like most of us are our own harshest critics.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that being in your head, the one telling you like all of the worst things about yourself, like
Mm-hmm.
taunting you.
I think that is like the definition of anxiety.
So sad. So the plan is for the group of highwaymen, which includes Raven, Elm, Elspeth, Jesper, John Thistle, and Wick and Peter Ivy. Some randoms.
Okay.
So, but this is our group of highwaymen that's going to go attack the Pines. So they're going to wait in the woods and ambush Wayland Pine before he reaches his home to steal the Iron Gate card. They make Elspeth change out of her dress into all black men's clothing, which she is super self-conscious about. And apparently, she's like really hot or something because whenever she walks out, somebody whistles and Raven looks at her and blushes.
Oh,
So
just by walking into a room in men's clothing.
she looked good.
Raven, you a little gay?
She looks so good. Supposedly, they are not going to use violence to get what they need from Wayland Pine, but they are very well armed, just in case.
Just in case.
They're going to go on horseback, and Elspeth has never ridden a horse before. So, same.
She gonna be sore tomorrow. Yeah. Honestly, only like twice, and I am terrified of horses.
Okay, so I have to mention one thing about this book that is really annoying me.
Okay.
I can't let it go any longer. The author uses the word trees in place of like God or gods. So, for example, she's like, trees, I'm tired of this. Or instead of like,
Oh my tree.
oh my trees. Like, can we stop? It's not working.
That's like the ACOTAR series, like, Thank the Cauldron or Cauldron Boil Me.
Yes, I am over it. Like, I've seen it done in other books. It's not working in this book. I want us to stop. So I won't say anything else about it. She continues doing it, but it does annoy me.
Okay.
So Raven goes to help her on the horse, and they have another little moment. He blushes before he touches her waist, and she is like obviously into him, and then she immediately gets booked off the horse.
Poor thing.
Because it can sense the nightmare.
Oh, so the horse is scared of
Animals
her.
do not like her.
Yes.
So how are we going to travel if you can't ride a horse? So they put her on the horse with Elm because he's the best horseman, but like they hate each other. Her and Elm. But they get there. They manage to get like she's hanging on for dear life to him, like crushing the life out of him, but they manage to get to the woods where they're gonna hide. Elspeth asks Raven if he thinks the spirit of the wood will disappear if they're able to lift the mist, and he doesn't think she'll be gone, but that she'll no longer be dangerous to anyone. Raven apologizes for attacking her on the road that day, and all seems to be forgiven. So they're going to fall in love, right?
I hope so. I hope so. They both sound hot.
But no time for love right now. It is go time. They get the signal and get ready to rob Wayland Pine. But something is not right. Wayland Pine's carriage is coming down the road, and Elspeth can see the light of the Iron Gate card inside of it. But Pine is not alone. There's also 4 destriers on war horses with black horse cards and Hoth Rowan with a scythe card. I hate that motherfucker.
I do too so much.
So Raven uses his nightmare card to warn his group of highwaymen what's going on, because it allows him to speak into everybody's head. And it looks like the no violence plan is completely out the window because Raven wants to take his chances and attack. And Elspeth agrees, like she's hesitant, but she still agrees. And they just go all in. They shoot arrows to obstruct the road, and a sword battle ensues. In the melee, Elspeth is able to point out to Raven exactly where the iron gate card is, and it's in Waylon Pine's pocket. And as soon as she locates it, Raven has her run into the woods for safety. Like, she has done her part.
And, like, the woods means it's very heavily misted, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is not going to affect her because she's
Well,
already
yeah, but I'm
infected.
talking about, like, visual.
Yes, and it will hide her. Now, can they pull off actually getting it? So shit, when she runs off into the mist, she runs directly into her fucking dad.
Oh my god, he's part of the caravan.
Yes. Smack head on into her dad, and he's gonna be real fucking disappointed in me. That's all I could think.
God damn, he already hates me.
So, at the moment, though, he was engaged in a battle with Elm, and I don't think that he realizes it was her. She is wearing a costume and a mask at this point. So her father is literally about to deliver a death blow to Elm, and Elspeth picks up a stone and just fucking hurls it at him. Hits him in the back of the head.
Oh my god, that is hysterical.
Her own dad. But it does allow Elm to get away. But Dad turns back around with murder in his eyes. Like, he is pissed. And he takes a dagger and he is about to throw it at her and murder the shit out of her. So she cries out for the nightmare's help with everything she has, and it's not pleasant when the nightmare takes over. It's painful. Like, all of the magic flowing through her veins and whatever. And the writing is not super clear in this section, but regardless, like, she has the dagger in her hand now. And before her father has time to pull his sword on her, she crosses the distance and kicks him straight on in the chest. Like, just
Jackie Chan'd his ass.
Jackie Chan'd him. And he doesn't recognize her because all he can see are her eyes, and they are the nightmare's yellow eyes looking out. While she's standing over him with a knife to his throat. And by the way,
this is her dad still?
What's up with that? You actually gonna kill your dad?
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, he's literally just defending himself from attack.
Doesn't know it's you.
I know he's, like, probably not the best dad or anything, but come on. I think that's ridiculous. So, Daddy, if you're listening, I promise to never hold a knife to your throat. Which my dad's not going to be listening because he told me he listened to half of the first episode, and that was it.
Huge fan. And if my dad's listening, please go the fuck away.
So, anyways, she's holding the knife to his throat, and a horse rushes by and knocks her ass down.
These horses are against her.
Horses really hate her. So she hits her head on a stone, and it's very reminiscent of whenever she was running from the physicians as a child. So someone helps her to her feet, and they run toward the mist, and it was Jesper. Jesper was the one that helped her. So Elspeth and Jesper are running through the woods, and out of nowhere, a destrier tackles them. Just fucking takes them out.
Oh, God. This is so, like, high.
I was about to say, can I just say that there's a whole lot of action going on right now?
Yes.
Like, it's giving me, like, a tad bit of anxiety.
Yes, but at least it's not, like, anticlimactic. Like, this is a very high energy scene.
So Jesper fucking pops up off the ground the way that I do whenever I trip and fall on hills. Like, she just, like, like, pops up. And she starts fighting the destrier.
Who is probably using the black horse card right now and whipping ass.
So, but remember, Jesper's a destrier too.
Oh, so she has one too.
She has a black horse card
Okay,
too.
yes.
So it's black horse on black horse card. And she's able to knock him out and with her sword hilt before he slaughters her. Okay. So, like, he is not dead, but he is knocked out. So after that, Jesper and Elspeth go to try to find the others. Remember, they're in the mist, and the mist isn't going to affect Elspeth because she's already been infected. But Jesper has not. And Jesper has lost her fucking charm somewhere in the middle of this battle. And she's panicking. The mist starts to try to take her, like physically. So Elspeth is searching her pockets for her own charm, but turns out she left her charm at the castle.
Oh, come on, ladies.
Like, of course she did. Neither of these two idiots have a charm in the mist. And I know it's an accident, but I'm getting pissed off about it.
Do better.
So Jesper has lost her fucking mind in the mist, and she just starts trying to go deeper into the wood. And Elspeth just follows her. Jesper's running through the woods, definitely not in control of her faculties, and Elspeth is just trying to keep up. The nightmare isn't in control anymore. She doesn't want to let him take over again because it's too much. She's afraid that he's going to take over for good.
Yes.
So in her running, Jesper falls down and like breaks an ankle or something.
Jesus
like
Christ.
she hurts. She cannot walk anymore. So Elspeth has to leave her there and go try to find Raven, who has a charm. So, I mean, I knew these charms were important. I mentioned that from the beginning. She makes her way back to the road, and when she gets there, she sees 3 destriers advancing on one fallen destrier on the ground. And I'm like, is it Raven?
Oh, God.
I hope it's not Raven, because Elspeth may not love Raven yet, but Kali loves Raven. But it's not. They're helping him up. These are all bad guys.
Okay.
All 4 of these. So, stranger danger. And one of them is bastard ass Hoth Rowan. And he hears her because she's standing like right there in the mist. He can't see her, but he hears her and moves toward her and then disappears. So where'd he go?
Oh, God.
Where'd he go? How did he do that?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
It wasn't a Providence card because she would still be able to see that, right? Then bam.
Oh, God.
He pops out and like, here's Johnny style. And grabs her by the arm, and the nightmare just takes over again.
Okay.
So Hoth does break her wrist, but she busts out the nightmare claws. Like, so the nightmare is no longer just, he's physically overtaking her body.
By giving her talons.
Claws, and she slices him from shoulder to jaw.
Oh, God.
And she's able to run away and get back into the mist, and she runs into Raven. Like, thank God this bitch is always running into people.
Thank God.
So,
trees.
I don't understand why yet, but somehow in all of that, maybe Elspeth letting the nightmare take over too much, but she says she can't see the Providence cards light up anymore.
Huh? Okay.
She said that in the book, and I'm so confused. But we're just going to keep running with it. We're just going to keep going. So, and that's like her only use, right?
Yeah.
Like, you need to be able to see them
Bitch,
Providence
they are
cards.
going to kill you.
So they're able to find Jesper. They give her a charm. It makes her come back to her right mind. The group gather back together. Everybody survived the battle, and they did get the Iron Gate card out of all this. Mission accomplished. And Elspeth is seeing the cards light up, so I'm confused. I'm confused, but I'll keep you updated. I'm just telling you what I'm reading.
Okay.
So it seems as though no one was recognized during the attack either, which is very important that they are not found out. Elspeth rides with Raven this time. She asks him why he carries a charm. And turns out he carries a viper head so that if he ever gets caught as a traitor, he can use the venomous teeth to commit suicide as opposed to being executed.
Okay.
So Raven lets on to Elspeth that sometimes he feels like he knows her, and other times it's like she's a different person entirely. Perhaps there's someone living inside of her brain. They arrive back at Castle U, and before Elspeth goes up to bed, Raven asks if she wants to continue their pretend courtship.
Yes, please.
Bitch, she doesn't want to pretend anything. She wants you for real.
Yes. And me too.
She doesn't answer yes. She just asks what he wants to do. And they're flirting.
Why? What do you want to do?
Like, oh, do you want to pretend? And they're both playing hard to get, but ultimately they are going to continue their supposedly pretend courtship. But, like, they're seeming more and more into
the sexual
each other.
tension is high.
So she goes to sleep. She finds herself in the ancient dream room again. This time it's autumn. Apparently last time it was summer. I'm not sure if that's relevant. I didn't note it. I didn't note that last time. So the knight is there again with the gold armor. And it's mentioned that all over Castle U in tapestries and paintings and stuff that there's a knight in gold armor depicted. So is this the Shepherd King that wrote the old Book of Alders and started all this Providence card shit in the first place?
Okay.
Not sure. Stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
The knight looks up at her and says, "Elspeth Spindle, let me out." And then the room burst into flames.
Oh, Jesus, okay.
And she wakes up. She gets up to check her injuries, and as she's looking into the mirror for a flash, she sees the nightmare, like not just in her eyes. She sees the full monster.
Oh, God, instead of herself?
Yes.
Oh, that's so scary.
Yikes.
So he really is, she's using him too much. He really is taking her piece by piece.
Mm-hmm. Elspeth goes down from the room and meets Raven on the stair, and they are so into each other. I'm really feeling their chemistry.
My feet are kicking.
As they're having this moment, I think they may be about to kiss, and Moret Yu opens the fucking door, and in steps Ione. And I'm not liking the maiden card wielding Hoth's fiance Ione.
Mm-hmm.
Like, supposedly, like, she's this super sweet girl and whatever. Like, she seems like a total bitch.
Mm-hmm. I hope that she has, like, an ulterior motive, though.
And she is actively using the maiden card. Like, why do you need to use it all the time? If you're only using it to make Hoth attracted to you, like, why are you using it out on running an errand? Like, I would want
Stay
to,
hot.
too. I would want to, too, okay?
Yes.
But, like, I feel like I would be smart enough probably not. I'm not that smart. I would probably use it all the time, too.
With your fake boobs.
Yeah. So, and even weirder is that she is not carrying the maiden card on her person, which is unheard of because she can't tap it to stop the magic.
Oh, so she's just like openly okay with whatever it's doing to her.
Yes, if the negative effects start on her, she can't stop it.
Oh, okay.
And distance doesn't limit the magic at all.
It's whether you tap it.
It's whether you tap it or someone else taps it. So why is she here?
Yeah.
Like, what is she doing here? She says she came to speak to Raven, something about the Destriers coming to train today. So she's not even there to fucking see Elspeth.
Yeah, bitch. You're right. I'm starting to like her less and less.
I like her less and less. And I guess Hoth is there too. Great.
Awesome. Love that for us.
He broke her arm last night and he's here today. So Ione and Elspeth take a walk, and she asks Elspeth if she heard that Hoth was attacked by a group of highwaymen last night.
No, sure didn't. Why?
Elspeth is like, OMG, no. How would I have heard that?
Oh, my trees. I didn't even know.
She is not the best liar. So Ione lets her know how surprised she was about this match between her and Raven. And Elspeth is like, it's not any more surprising than you and Hoth. So...
so they are still beefing.
Yes, these two women clearly do not have much love left for each other. Ione is not the same person with the maiden card. They walk out to see 10 Destriers, including Hoth Rowan. And I guess I didn't realize that Hoth was a Destrier too, or maybe I just forgot, but he is a Destrier. So he's got a black horse and a scythe card.
Oh, love that for everyone involved.
And he's got some wicked scars where she had transformed into the nightmare and sliced him up.
Yeah, how is she about to explain that to her people?
Raven tells Elspeth that he called the Destriers to Castle U to train because 4 of his men were attacked on the forest road the previous night. So he is keeping up appearances as the captain of the guard. Hoth comes over and wants to know where Jesper is. Raven tells him she's sick and he gave her the morning off. Hoth tries to demand that Raven get her out there, but Raven, like, shuts him down. Like, she is not well enough.
So even though Hoth is a nepotism baby, Raven still seems to be like, I'm the captain, so shut up.
Raven does still seem to hold power over Hoth to some extent.
Okay.
Ione seems like even though she is definitely changed from the maiden card, that does not mean that she likes Hoth. Like,
bitch, what?
Yes, she is acting like, so maybe she does have a little bit of sense left because they do not appear to be like this lovey-dovey couple.
Okay.
And Hoth is rude as shit about Elspeth, saying she must be the reason that Raven has been so absent lately. And Hoth isn't completely stupid. He knows it was an ambush on Wayland Pine and that they were after the Iron Gate card because that was the only thing that was taken. And he knows it was a woman who attacked him because of her voice and her size, but he's too proud to admit that a woman was able to injure him like that.
So she knows the truth, but he's acting, okay.
And I think Ione realizes that it was Elspeth, because she saw Elspeth's wrist inside, but she said that her injuries were from falling off a horse. So, as much as I'm not
Which is not wrong. She did fall off a horse.
But as much as I'm not loving Ione, she does seem to be trying to put in a little effort into protecting.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I hope that there's an ulterior motive. Like, she is seeming she's not all for Hoth.
So Raven is ready to get into the training, so he challenges Hoth to a demonstration. And Hoth tries to push it off on another destrier, but he won't fight Raven either. Says he's an infected bastard.
Oh, okay.
So I thought this was a secret.
Yeah, everyone knows, apparently.
Apparently it's known among the destriers that Raven is infected. So Hoth does end up stepping up to the challenge after all, and Raven slowly but surely just kicks his ass. And at the end, he steps on Hoth's hand and breaks his hand for breaking Elspeth's
My
wrist.
lady's hand.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Getting his ass back. And I only laugh, so she really does hate
She
her
does not like him, dude.
She does not like him. That evening when Elspeth is returning to her room, she overhears Elm and Raven talking, and Elm is saying they should be cautious of her because they still don't know her abilities, and that maybe Raven should even use the nightmare card on her, but Raven says that he won't do it without her consent.
Oh.
No means no. Elm just wants him to use caution. Breaking Hoth's hand was risky. He's letting his emotions control him.
Risky, but worth it.
Yeah, more than he should. So Elspeth slips into her room and Raven comes along shortly. He tells her that he and Hoth hate each other, that Hoth was the one who told the king about his and Emery's infections.
Oh.
And Hoth is also jealous that his father made Raven the captain of the destriers. So that checks out.
I hate that dude.
Raven brings Elspeth out of Castle Elm and tells her they're going to the stone chamber that she seems so afraid of. They're going to the room with the one dark window.
Okay, let's get it.
It definitely seems that the spirit of the wood has something to do with this doorless chamber that houses only one dark window. And she can tell there's something magical in there. And the nightmare is just urging her along. Like, he wants in there.
He is excited.
So bad. Raven helps her into the room through the window, and it's the dream room.
Oh, the room that lit on fire last night.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the dream room. So Elspeth is wondering why she's here, and Raven goes to this stone slab in the center where she had seen the knight sit. And he cuts his palm and lets it drip onto the stone. And when he does this, several beams of light emerge from the stone. It's where they're hiding their Providence cards.
Okay.
But you have to use magic blood to open it. So this is where they're hiding their collection. The nightmare tells Elspeth that this is where the Shepherd King and the Spirit of the Wood would do their bartering. So is the nightmare the Shepherd King?
Okay, I was about to ask that.
Is the nightmare the Shepherd King?
And also, like, I feel like where they are in this house and this castle and everything, the nightmare's acting like this used to be his house. Or like that's why he's so familiar.
Yes, I agree. Raven tells Elspeth that he was 13 when he caught the infection, but for a year, he showed no sign of magic. It was only when he began training to be a destrier that he realized the black horse card he was given wouldn't work for him. Unfortunately, Hoth also realized it and told Orith Willow and confirmed his infection to the king. The king saw the usefulness in the cards not working against him. Here's a big kicker, though. Every year, he loses the ability to use another card. So the only ones that he can use at this point are the mirror, the nightmare, and possibly the twin alders.
Mm-hmm.
So if his infection isn't cured, he won't be able to use Providence cards at all.
Mm-hmm.
The only person that Raven discusses this with, other than Elspeth, apparently, is Elm. And Elspeth is questioning whether this is a good idea, with Elm being the king's son and all, but Raven trusts him completely.
Okay.
Hoth was a brutal, abusive son of a bitch to Elm. So Elm went to live with the Hughes, and that's the family that he's loyal to.
Okay.
Raven put the cards back into the stone, and he goes to cut himself again to seal it up, and Elspeth stops him, saying that she wants to do it. If Raven is ever unavailable, it's going to have to be her blood that they use. So Raven hesitates, but he does it for her. He slices her palm and presses it to the stone. It works. The cards are sealed back up. And this turns into quite the erotic moment.
I was about to say, that's kind of hot.
They are standing like super close. He's cupping her face and brushes his her lip with his thumb and asks her if she's still pretending to court him, that is. And she wants him. He says it doesn't feel pretend to him, and they kiss! So, like, more like melt into each other.
Okay.
Like, she specifically mentions the hardening of his body, letting her know that he feels the same.
Period, queen.
Spicy. Elspeth is, like, absolutely succumbing to the moment. Like, they're fixing to fuck right there on this
on this bloody rock.
On this bloody rock. But she opens her eyes and sees the knight sitting on the stone.
Oh my God, he's watching. Little freak.
He says, "Elspeth Spindle, let me out." Which scares the fuck out of her. And she rips away from Raven, panicked.
And loses her lady boner.
Yes. And I'm like, damn it. Like, we were just getting to the part I've been waiting for. Like, we've been talking about magic and cards and bullshit. All I want is a little romance. And of course, like, she doesn't explain to Raven that it wasn't him she was running away from. And my eyes are rolling straight back in my head.
I hate the miscommunication tropes that authors use. Like, just tell him.
Yes. So in her mind, she's screaming at the nightmare, wanting to know if she's losing her mind, who that man is. He tells her that he's a vestige of the past, haunting the chamber he built for the spirit of the wood, a memory of the man he once was. So there we have it. The nightmare is the knight, who is, I assume, the Shepherd King, unless I'm missing something.
Yes. That, to my understanding, that all sounds correct, too.
So then Elspeth recalls a line from the old Book of Alders. "But it felt incomplete, my collection yet whole, and so for the nightmare I bartered my soul." And like a light bulb switched on, Elspeth realized that when she touched the nightmare card as a little girl, she absorbed the soul of the Shepherd King.
So the soul of the Shepherd King is who is living in her brain.
Yes.
Well, then tell me where the fucking Twin Alder car is.
Yeah.
Damn. Come on.
Like, why is it such a secret? So, Elspeth gets woken up in the meadow the next morning. She does not know how she got there, but Philip Willow finds her, and she tells him that she must have sleepwalked. And she is, like, not particularly comfortable with him. Like, even though he's on her side, he's a physician. And the physicians are scary people.
Yes.
Philip tells her his family have been physicians for hundreds of years, and that they used to treat the infected children, not kill them. But it all changed when Brutus Rowan came into power, which is the current Rowan King's ancestor, and the one who took over
was the captain of the guard, and then
took over the kingdom from the Shepherd King. So it's unsure why Brutus Rowan hated the infection so much, possibly because he couldn't control its magic the way he could control a Providence card, or possibly because he stole the throne from the infected Shepherd King, and he fears an infected person will be strong enough to steal it back. Elspeth asks what happened to the Shepherd King, and Felix says he dies but does not know how, which makes the nightmare laugh. So whatever happened those 500 years ago does matter. It's going to come into play at some point. Another thing Elspeth is concerned about is her degeneration. Raven's degeneration is very straightforward. He loses the ability to use cards. Emery's degeneration is killing him. Both body and mind are falling apart. But Elspeth doesn't know what her degeneration is. I think it might have something to do with the nightmare taking over your mind and your body.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, come on, sis.
So Elspeth is pissed at the nightmare for sleepwalking her around. I told you he's taken over. Like, next thing you know, there ain't gonna be no Elspeth left. So the nightmare confirms...
She needs to be mad at him for not telling her that he's the Shepherd King.
Yes, like, why are we hiding this? She's been doing this since she was 9 years old and you're 20.
We have had ample amount of time to tell me.
I can understand not telling the 9-year-old, but, like,
yes,
now that we're fighting for our life and trying to reunite this deck, like, can you be a little bit of help, please?
Yes.
So the nightmare confirms that every time she asks for his help, he grows stronger. Now she can see his memories, and the stronger the nightmare gets, the more she loses control. This ignites a fire in Elspeth to reunite the cards and cure her own infection. As Elspeth returns to the castle, he tells her to hurry, that they are heading out soon for Market Day. And Market Day is apparently some kind of special event. They dress up, they wear masks. Elspeth comes out looking all beautiful in front of Raven and Hoth Rowan. And the two men basically have a dick measuring contest. And Hoth grabs her hurt wrist to ask her to save him a turn on the square, whatever that means. But, like, anyway. And she's like, ah!
Please.
Like, it's painful.
Yes.
And she doesn't scream out in pain, but it's obvious that she has an injury. So Hoth is going to figure out it's her whose wrist he broke. And that she's the one who carved him up like a turkey. But also, can I just say, as another criticism of this book, just one slight issue that I'm having.
Let me hear it.
Just one slight issue is that with all this fucking magic flying around with Providence cards and infected people, is there not one damn person who can do some magic healing?
And fix my wrist?
Like,
for real, what are you physicians for? Fuck.
So Ione steps in and tells Hoth to be careful, that she and Elspeth went riding the previous day and Elspeth fell off her horse. So she does still have some loyalty to Elspeth. And it's also becoming more and more obvious that Ione and Hoth really fucking hate each other. Raven finally declares his lust, something for Elspeth. He says the reason he resisted fate courting her was because he doesn't want to pretend. Ever since the night he attacked her on the forest road, the less he wants to pretend everything. He doesn't want to pretend to be the captain of the Destriers, and above all, he doesn't want to put her into any danger that he will likely face as a traitor. And Elspeth says to him to be what he needs to be. Overturn the king, cure the infection. As the only one who can withstand the scythe card, it has to be him. And they embrace, and she feels safe and warm and loved.
Okay, stop.
I love it. And then they run into her father, stepmother, and half-sisters again. And her dad is shocked to see her because she looks so much like her mom.
Oh,
which was his true love.
Yes. Wait, isn't she wearing her mom's dress?
Yes.
Yes.
She's wearing her mom's dress. So the half-sisters pull her away to take a turn around the square and ask Elspeth why the hell she would court the captain of the Destriers when he could so easily find out that she's infected. Like, bitch, he's infected
Yeah,
too.
we infected together, baby.
Elspeth just brushes them off. She finds Elm and has him use his scythe card to make them go away. Elm lets Elspeth know that while Raven trusts her, he sees that she's hiding something. And she's arguing with the nightmare internally on whether to tell Elm the truth. The nightmare wants out to tell Elm himself, and Elspeth wants him to calm the fuck down. Before they can hash this out, Elspeth is knocked aside by 3 Destriers with their weapons drawn. An infected child has been discovered by physician Orith Willow.
Ugh.
And his parents have been arrested. Hoth wants to make an example of them
Oh, no.
on market day in the square, which makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, same. I actually just got chills when you said that. Ugh.
Hoth ties up this man publicly and lashes him with a whip with his wife watching on. Then he took their charms from them, marched them to the edge of the mist, and used his scythe card to send them into the mist to die. The son, the infected boy, was left behind to see if his magic would be of any use to the king.
Oh, my Jesus.
And if not, he will be murdered as well. And Elspeth is having fucking none of it.
As she should.
She takes Elm's cloak and mask. Elm uses his own scythe card to stop the prisoners from walking into the mist. So now we got scythe against scythe. And
Rowan against Rowan.
This is a very public confrontation, brother against brother. Elm steps out and tells Hoth that even for him, this is going too far. But Hoth's little henchman, Lyndon, tries to step in and lunges at Elm, but Elm uses his scythe card to stop Lyndon from using his sword against him. Elspeth, meanwhile, is inching closer to the infected boy. Now, I'm not sure what she's going to do when she gets to him, but she is trying to make her way over to him. Then Raven and Jesper make their appearance, and it distracts Elm long enough for Hoth to elbow Elm in the face and break his concentration on his scythe card, so the prisoners are moving toward the mist again.
Okay.
They're solely under the control of Hoth's scythe card again. So the Destriers go into full attack mode against each other. Some of them are on Elm's side. Some of them are on Hoth's side. They're just infighting. And Elspeth is just trying to make her way to the boy. So she calls for the Nightmare's help again. Which I guess she doesn't really have a choice, but bad things seem to happen when the Nightmare gets involved.
And I feel like her using him so much is why her degeneration is happening so quickly.
Right. So the Nightmare takes over. Elspeth runs full tilt into Orith Willow. And the Nightmare's strength made her like a brick wall, and she just knocks him flat on his ass.
As she should.
Other physicians are trying to get to her, but Elspeth grabs the boy's hand and takes off into the mist with him, with Destriers and physicians both on their heels. So Elspeth spurs the boy to run on. She just tells him to, go.
And does he have... Okay.
She gives him her charm. And she turns to face Hoth's right-hand man, Lyndon. And I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure she kills him. It's not...
Yeah, no, I think so too.
It's not totally clear from the writing, but he's holding his neck with blood oozing through his fingers. So, and I also think that it's important to mention that as Elspeth is running away into the mist, she has a vision where she is in golden armor, surrounded by flames, helping children escape to the chamber with the one dark window.
Okay, so that's a vision of the night.
Of the night, yeah.
Okay.
So she keeps running until she smacks into Raven again. She is always
oh my God.
running smack into somebody. Her eyes are still yellow. Her hands are curled, they're not claws anymore, but they're curled up and covered in blood. So, again, Elspeth was not recognized through any of this because she had Elm's cloak and mask on.
Oh, yeah.
Raven knows she's hiding something, but he isn't pushing her to tell him. And honestly, I don't think he fucking cares. I think that she could be a demon and that he would still love her. But they don't seem to have realized it yet amongst each other. Raven is pissed at Hoth for trying to schedule a public execution on market day. He does not have the right to do that without Raven's approval, even though he's the king's son. And Raven says if he wants to be the captain of the Destriers, he can battle him for it.
Period.
But Hoth isn't going to try that shit with Raven because the scythe card doesn't work against him. He's a bully. Without that scythe card, he's nothing.
Yeah.
So at least at this point, the boy and his parents have escaped into the mist and they're carrying Elspeth's charm. And Jesper is going to try to find them and bring them somewhere safe. So they apparently do have a place where they hide infected children.
Okay, good.
I'm like, ooh, does this mean that they have an army of infected children waiting to overthrow the king?
That is some tea.
So this has all been very dramatic and a tad bit confusing, but are we following?
Oh, absolutely. You had me on the edge of my seat and I have read this book before.
Okay. So Where we end off is Raven uses the nightmare card to talk to his father, and he says that they have to get back to Castle U ASAP. So
Okay.
not sure what happens next, but that is where we end our recording. Thank you for listening. Please leave us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify.
Go like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube, join our Facebook group, and follow us on Instagram.
The links to everything are available in the show notes.
And 5 stars only. If you have anything less, please turn your phone off and mind your business. Bye, fuckers.